Absolutely. So happy to see y'all on this Friday night. Thank you. Because it's Friday night. There could be 1,000 other things that y'all could be doing, but y'all sharing it here with me. Drew Titan Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is the Painful Excellence Podcast, and I appreciate you. We did it, man. You guys got over that stack. I got my email from YouTube saying, hey, you want to be a part of the AdSense community? I'm like, absolutely. So that's 2 channels monetized. And we're going to work on the 3rd. We're just going to act the fool. But let me be very, very clear. None of this is possible without you guys, man. For real. Y'all done showed me love. And I appreciate y'all, for real. We have real conversations in here. And whether y'all follow me on a boxing channel or whatever have you, we here. I appreciate you guys, man. And I told y'all before, I'm having more fun over here than I am on the boxing channel. Y'all know why. The beautiful love is the word. Rodale, Mona D. Let me tell you something, Mona D. I need you as much as you can to partner up with me. And we're going to do this real talk because I need to get everybody I know that's content creators over a stack. That'll make me feel so good because y'all did it for me. And I want to return it tenfold, man. That's what life is. Salute to you. Shauna TV, Mike the Reaper, Picasso, Ryan Wright, Selena Mason, salute. Jeff Spark, my brother, always supporting. Brian Mason, salute. There they go. Philip D, salute. Jared, what's good? Scroll on, that kind of jumped on me. Smoke and Talk, there they go. What up? Detroit, BC. Queen, there she go. Night Train in the building. Salute. Make sure y'all smack that like button. The Village, brother. That's the fam right there. Tay, what's going on, you? Absolutely. I'm here to help. I'm at your service. That's real talk. Young Hollywood in the building. I'm happy when I see y'all. For real. So I ain't gonna keep y'all. Let's get to the topic at hand. Because it's something I spoke on earlier last week. Or was it Monday? Sometime during the week. You see the picture and what's in the middle. And we're living in some very scary times, but it's scary depending on how you look at it. And let me explain. All right. The United States may have shown their ass for the last time. They may have shown their ass for the last time. People are waking up. Because enough's enough. We've been getting on here and we've been complaining like, yo, man, this stuff is out of control. We understand people want to be people over here. But now, don't y'all get the feeling that they're trying to kind of like impose their lifestyle on people? Code 67, what up? Phenomenal Mexican, salute. Oh, no, this is not going to be a Cold War at all. This is going to be a wash. Because you know why? The world has woken up and they say, you know what? Wait a minute. We're having real conversations over here. We're having real lifestyles over here. Remember when I asked y'all, Melanin A1, salute. Remember when I asked y'all remember the principles of what America was built off? Wasn't it based off of Christian principles? Now let me ask y'all a question. If America's built off of Christian principles, what are we doing? We have all this freedom, and there's a lot, and y'all know I'm trying to walk a line here, but I'm gonna play some audio. Shawa, salute, sis. I'm gonna play some audio, and y'all be the judge. Think about what these Africans are gonna say, right? And then think about what we're dealing with here. We're getting sick of it, man. Yes, Philip D. And I wonder why they're doing that. And let me tell you something. On social media for the last 5 years, Jay Gibson, salute. The winning team's in the building. Last 5 years, they were making it seem like that Africa was being invaded by China. Didn't it make it seem like that when you was reading it over here? And we're over here, Black Americans, like, yo, they can't do that. What they doing? Oh my God, they can't do that. The leaders are selling out. I'm gonna play some audio. They're not selling out. They're making deals that is beneficial to their life. And the people aren't opposed to it. Because these are their elected officials. And now over here, we're thinking, oh my God, everything's corrupt outside of here. Man, we're corrupt. What are you talking about here? So the first thing I want to do, let me share this screen here. Good old Kamala Harris kicks off Africa tour with 100 million pledge as U.S. tries to counter China and Russia's influence. Johannesburg, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Ghana Sunday night to kick off a 3-nation tour of Africa, her first visit to the continent since taking office. She was greeted by school children waving Ghanaian and American flags as she walked off the plane in Accra, Ghana. You know why this is funny? I'm reading this. I'm gonna tell you why this is funny. She's in Accra, Ghana, right? And sidebar, y'all, for those of you that follow my boxing channel, we're supposed to have a fighter that's from Accra, Ghana on Sunday. If you figure out who it is, don't put his name in the chat. Don't put his name in the chat because it's a surprise. And I'm actually stoked to talk to him if we can get a hold of him. He's from Accra. The Quiet Storm, salute, good brother. I got your email. Let me take care of you. There you go. I just got your email. I just read it a little while ago. Salute to you. So I'm reading this and I'm like, wow, Accra, Ghana. But that's the only hint I'm dropping, y'all. But anyway, Showtime Major, salute. And quickly announced a significant new U.S. financial support package for Ghana and a handful of other nations in the region. Now, mind you, it says 100 million, right? Okay, just keep that number in mind. Harris smiled at the dancers and said she was looking forward to this trip as a further statement of the long-term and enduring and very important relationship and friendship between the people of the United States and those who live on the continent of Africa. The vice president said she was very excited about the future of the continent and the impact of the future of Africa on the rest of the world, including the United States of America. Harris held a bilateral meeting with President Nana Akufo-Addo, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, in Accra in her first high-profile encounter as she begins a 9-day tour of Central African nations. The U.S. is strengthening our partnerships across the continent of Africa, and they are guided not by what we can do for Africa, but with Africa and our African partners on this continent, Harris said at a news conference with the Ghanaian leader after their meeting, lauding his leadership and having made Ghana a beacon of democracy. Keep that word in mind. Democracy. America, democracy. America, democracy. America, democracy. Keep that word in mind. Harris announced $100 million in new support of Benin, Ghana, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo. My cousin's wife is from Togo. To help the nations address security, governance, and development issues in the region. So security, governance. So they're going to show them some democracy, some governance, and development issues in the region. White House officials said Harris' trip and meetings would focus on democracy, climate change, security, and the economy, and the impact of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. Russia's invasion of the Ukraine? WTF does that have to do with Accra, Ghana? I don't know. I don't know much. Whatever. Harris' tour is part of the Biden administration's bolstered efforts to strengthen the ties on the continent. She is the 5th top administration official to visit Africa this year, following Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. The flurry of official visits follows the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit in December, where President Biden announced a $55 billion commitment to the continent over the next 3 years. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting annoyed reading this. Harris was quoted at the summit as saying that U.S. partnerships with African nations would be guided not by what Africa does for the continent, but what it does with Africa. That phrasing was a very thinly veiled jab at China and Russia, which have invested heavily across the continent for years to gain influence. Okay, some analysts argue that U.S. has been late in mounting its Africa outreach. Y'all hear that? Some analysts argue that the U.S. has been late in mounting its African outreach, as Beijing has spent huge sums of developing infrastructure, lending cash, and in some countries even building a telecommunications network. Y'all hear that? Often, investments come in exchange for access to vital mineral resources. Ghana already has a $2 billion infrastructure agreement with the Chinese company to help develop roads and other projects in exchange for access to aluminum ore. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm not going to read all of this. I'm going to stop right there. And if you came in the building, salute to you. Mr. Ishmael, salute. Listen, ES, what's up? Don't you find it strange that they sent this black woman to Africa and they just said, I just read it to you. That's the Ivory Coast, Village Brother. My boys is from the Ivory Coast. They own a whole mosque in the South Bronx. That's the Ivory Coast, yeah. Yep. You just read, I just read they're like 2 years, they're like late. Some analysts said they're late. China been in there like 5 or 6 years already. But Just Do, what up? Let me say this. Where the fuck are they getting this money from? How do we have this money to play with in Africa and there's still fire blowing out the goddamn water pipes in Flint, Michigan?
Whoa! What the
I don't get it.
That's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy when Horton, he did ride Crambo. Froggy when Horton, he did ride Crambo.
What? There's fire blowing out the water pipes in Flint, Michigan right now. You turn on your bathtub water and doo-doo flies out. And I bet you it don't cost nowhere near $100 million to fix what's going on over there. Oh, I know, Jeff Spark. And all of this is relevant. Because what I'm about to play for you is the nail in the coffin. You see, we've been bankrupt for a long time, man. Our money is, we just print it. It's supposed to be backed by gold. China been in Africa, other countries been in Africa for a long time. Very rich in that land. We don't, AB, what up? We don't produce anything. Everything we have is on credit. China been owned us. But wait a minute. I don't want to get too deep into that. I like to keep it simple here. There's probably some political buff that's going to see this and say, no, you're wrong. Fine. I could be wrong. But here's the picture that y'all need. Here's a picture. I'm not even going to paint this picture. Y'all going to see it yourself. Y'all going to hear it. This brother, his name is Joshua Mapunga Mara Ra III. He's a social entrepreneur with an appreciation of the delights and the disdain of being an ordinary citizen of the planet. Okay, his keen interest in the upliftment and success of individuals, couples, families, and congregations. Well, okay, I just found this brother today. And salute to Stormy. He sent me. He did an interview, and the things he said was quite interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And this is his opinion on America and African relations. Okay? Let me plug this in. Fair use, y'all. Sorry, I gotta shorten this wire. I'm calling it fair use. Listen to this.
Arrogance of the Americans, the bulliness of the Americans. Let me even throw it on the west side.
David Scott.
America right now comes to Tanzania, comes to Ghana, comes to Zambia with 16 million. And guess what? 16 million only for Zambia. The 16 million, ask me what is it for? What is it for? For human rights.
So the other number they got is $60 million that Kamala Harris showed up to Ghana with was for human rights. Can I ask y'all a question? When she said human rights, what do you think she meant? I got 60 million human rights. What do you think she meant? Let me help y'all out. What did Uganda stand firm on very recently? And here she is with 60 million. Thank you, AB. And there she is with $60 million in Ghana with her bullshit and changed the word and said human rights. So just listen to this, brother.
Across the river, China and Russia coming to South Africa, asking me for what? For what? For military training and skills sharing.
Military training and skill sharing. Military training and skill sharing. That's what China and Russia offered. Military training and skill sharing. Let me scroll back up here and remind you what Kamala was offering. What did she say? 55 billion commitment next 3 years. She's offering democracy, climate change, security. No. Help the nations address security, governance, and development issues in the region. What development issues are in their region? You see, colonizers, when they come to a foreign land, they looked at us and said, let's fix the savages. Meanwhile, the quote unquote, the savages was all right before y'all motherfuckers got there. So here we go again with this, there again, salute. Here we go again with this nonsense. The difference is they ain't having it. I'll read it to you again. Development issues in the region? What do you mean? Governance and security. Governance, security, and development issues in the region? Did they mean infrastructure? I think if they meant infrastructure, they'd have just said infrastructure. What do you mean development issues? But this brother's on it.
Of security. So the Americans are more interested in a transgender, homosexual agenda around the world.
Whoa, what the it's kind of pretty before it gets started.
What? See? You see? Didn't I tell you that this thing is out of control? And while we're fussing over something so stupid as that, because it's stupid, everyone else is like, we're supposed to listen to y'all? Y'all can't get that together? But it gets, Nicholas Levy, salute. But P, listen to him.
They will invest their money and give you money to protect human rights. Russia and China are coming with weapons and militarization strategies so that we can protect ourselves. So I say this very loud and clear to the Americans. Continue on your transgender agenda. Stay there. Leave us to do politics on the other side.
Oh my God. Anthony Bolton, salute. You hear this, right? You see?
But what we need right now is not a minority human rights activation.
Jassy, salute. Fair use, y'all. Fair use. This is insane. Not insane, but I told you they weren't having it. Look.
What we need is a societal transformation. And for you as Americans to think that we really envy that when you have an anti-lesbian, anti-gay, LGBT principle, then tourists would drop. Let me correct that once and for all, and cut and clip this, and it must be loud and clear.
What he just said was, if Africa doesn't ease up on their views on the that LGBT agenda, the tourism will drop. And basically they're like, so? But what does that mean? Does that mean that all the tourists are gay? It can't mean that, right? Team Peterson, salute. Vince, what up? My brother Theo's in the building. Y'all see this? They threatened him with tourism. Oh, tourism's gonna drop. If you don't ease up on the gay, tourism's gonna drop. See?
Are you saying to me that all the tourists are gay? And when you hear that this is a non-gay zone?
I just said that. You see? I just said that. Oh my gosh.
Tourism will suffer. Question number one. Question number two. Are you saying that we don't have a right to expressing ourselves as Africans? Question number three. If democracy means majority rules and majority votes against a principle, then why won't you allow that to become law? Are you saying the minority must manage the majority, or the majority must manage the minority? Then if that whole ideology is wrong, then take democracy in a nice black dustbin bag and throw it outside. Because what you are telling us is by the people, for the people, with the people, and all those slogans you hear, what democracy represents. If we are 10 in the room and 9 people say no, and one person says yes, democracy says you go with the majority. So if we say we want to make Africa democratic, and the demographics of our democracy says no, then why do you philosophically want to manipulate the will of the majority to favor the will of the minority? It really gets confusing to me, because we're still in one thing. I understand this democracy because it is based on the principle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it comes to practice, no, you can't practice it like that. What do you want? Do you want democracy? You want anarchy? You want indigenous governing systems? You want meritocracy? But let's find another way of governing ourselves. But the ideology of democracy being founded on majority rule does not count, because the rule that runs the South African constitution right now is not majority count.
Now look, man. I know he has an accent, but I know y'all understood him perfectly. They want to come to Africa and teach them democracy. How they live over there is how they live. Why did they send this black vice president, a female at that, to wave some money? Big Smooth, salute. And what's the word they used? Ah, yes. Development issues in the region. Development issues in the region. Are you kidding me? Exactly, Queen. This is why you turn around, you see brothers in skirts over here. You dig? But enough's enough. And now they can't go over here with money and wave it in their face, say, oh, look, agenda, but you know what? We got money. We'll take care of you. We'll show you how to fight. We could, show you how to do a democracy and, get a little infrastructure in there. I got 60 million to shake your hand and give it to you. Just let ease up off the LGBTQ or whatever the hell it is. And they're like, haha, no. Whether they're Muslim or whether they're Christian. Matter of fact, if it's Christian, it's worse off for America. You know why? Because they're going to point to scriptures in the Bible and say, where in the Bible does it say to do what y'all doing? Tell me. Exactly, Derek. And I'm telling you, the next 30 years of this country is going to be crucial. I live in the Bronx now, but it might not be called the Bronx in 30 years. It might be called something else. Black people will be working at the old Chinese stores and we'll be delivering soul food like how they deliver us Chinese food. You don't know what's going to happen. I say it jokingly, but I'm not. This shit is serious. What you're hearing now is pushback. This is all pushback. But there's something worse. That was Joshua Maponga. The healer, salute. The next person I'm gonna play is Hakande Hichilema. I'm saying this, I know I'm butchering his name, but he's the leader of Zambia. And let me tell you something. He breaks it down to a science.
Keep the lights.
He breaks it down to a science, and it's a little not scary, but let me see. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Oh, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it, Derek. Matter of fact, I need you to listen to this, guys. Oh, say, can you see? Listen to this. This is the Zambia leader, Hakande Hichilema. I'm saying his name wrong, but this is him. Reset Common Sense. Salute. Listen to this. Yeah, exactly, Philip D. That's what it means. And you ain't gonna be able to do that on the continent of Africa. They're not having that shit. And I'm actually glad to see it. The way social media sold it to us was Russia's in there and China's in there, just looting and then Africans are just stupid and letting them do it, and all the government is corrupt letting them do it. That's not the case. They made deals, and what they're doing is, when America's going there, like, Russia done took care of us already. China done care, and we're making deals. They're not coming over here and tricking us. We're not stupid. We're getting something in exchange. What are you doing? Giving us printed money? Bringing your lifestyle over here that we don't agree with? We already have your Bible. What else can you do? But listen to this, y'all.
Unspeakable.
In a truly fair, free, and peaceful world, democracy takes many forms of expression, not only one.
Fair use.
I believe democracy is a government in which all the people participate, in which the interests of the people reign supreme, in which their country's sovereignty, their country's honor is at the top. It seems that this month is a month of democracy discourse in the world. At the end of this month, there will be a conference in Lusaka, or a summit in Lusaka, Zambia, my country, led by the United States.
Fair use. Listen to this. Fair use.
They have come to Southern Africa to teach us democracy.
He said they've come to South Africa to teach us democracy. When he says democracy, he's talking about democracy. Fair use, y'all. Listen to this. This is very important.
A country that was opposed to our liberation, a country...
They said America was opposed to Zambia's liberation. Now listen to what he says here.
that supported colonial regimes, the apartheid regime in South Africa, the white racist minority regime in Zimbabwe, now Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, the Portuguese colonial governments in Mozambique, in Angola, in Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde. Today is coming to Africa to teach us about democracy.
He just cited off about 4 things that America did to them. And now they're coming to talk to Zambia about democracy. So already he's going in already. But it gets worse.
A country that has toppled so many governments in Africa, that has led so many coups in Africa.
A country that has toppled so many governments in Africa. They have funded military coups in Africa. Because whatever was going on in Africa, the United States had a vested interest in that chaos. You understand? It gets worse.
And other parts of the world. A country that has killed so many of our leaders in Africa and other parts of the world. The killers of Patrice Lumumba.
These are the people they killed.
Those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah. Those who killed Nasser.
See that?
Those who killed Muammar Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Today are coming to teach us about democracy.
You see that? He just ran off some names. And if you didn't understand them, fine. This video is on YouTube. If you didn't understand them, fine. Fair use, y'all. But listen, we all know who Muammar Gaddafi was. And what was he trying to do when they found him and killed him? He was trying to create a new currency. And they killed him. Any news about Muammar Gaddafi in the States, it was not good. He was the worst guy in the world. They finally found him and they dragged him in the street. And now they want to go to Zambia. Hey, how you doing? And this brother's reminding them, man, don't come over here. We're civilized. We're civilized. You better be glad that we're not looking for revenge. But what we are going to do, we know when you're drowning right now, you need a lifeline. Don't come over here with that nonsense. That's what he's doing. He's politely reminding the people of who America is. And America can't deny it. And what they did, they send that black woman to Africa, trying with $100 million or $60 million to smooth shit over. Oh, let the LGBT in here. Hey man, your tourism gonna hurt. You think they're stupid? And guess what? They wouldn't give a fuck about your goddamn tourism. Keep your money and keep your bullshit over there. They tired of the Europeans going down there sleeping with their young black boys. Look it up. Passport girls. Don't get me started. Fair use.
A country that has been built on brutal force, on enslavement of other human beings.
A country that's been built on brutal force, enslaving of human beings.
On the humiliation of Africans.
Humiliation of Africans.
The exploitation of Africans.
Exploitation of Africans.
The plunder of Africa.
Oh.
Today is coming to teach us about democracy.
Yo, he is laying it on them. He is laying it on them. Oh, this who's coming? They did this, they did this, they did this, they did this. This is their history, and they're coming to teach us about democracy? Kane, what up? Really? He's reminding them. They're clapping. You see this?
That's the arrogance.
The arrogance.
The imperialist arrogance.
Imperialist arrogance.
The racist arrogance.
Racist arrogance.
That we are subjected to.
Wow.
We cannot have democracy where there's hegemony of the strongest, mightiest imperialist power. We cannot have democracy where a country's resources, a country's decisions are dictated to by another country.
Wow.
A country that is dominated by another country cannot be democratic. A country that lacks sovereignty cannot be democratic. A people that cannot decide for themselves cannot be democratic.
A people that cannot decide for themselves cannot be democratic. He is, oh my gosh. He is slaying them with no firearm.
A colony, a neo-colony cannot be democratic. That's why today, even at the United Nations, membership is on the basis of sovereignty. Only sovereign nations can be members of the United Nations, because only sovereign nations can decide for themselves. A colony cannot be a member of the United Nations. It's not by accident. It's not a mistake. If you have no respect for the dignity of others, if you have no respect for the sovereignty of other countries, you cannot claim to be a champion of democracy.
Living contradiction they are. We are, USA.
They used to say, all roads lead to Rome. Today, we can confidently say, all roads to progress, all roads to what is better for humanity leads to Beijing.
Oh my God.
Whoa, what the Pull the key. Ah, yeah, it's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy Money Courtin', he did ride Crambo.
This should be in the trash.
He said all roads lead to Beijing. Wow. This is the link to what I'm watching. It came from another lady's channel, but it's on there. But let me finish playing this. This is crazy. And they clap.
This is a country, this is a people that have developed themselves, that has developed itself without colonizing any country in the world.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You heard what he just said, right? They've accomplished everything that they've done, and they haven't spilled a drop of blood, basically. No espionage, no going inside countries and putting your agents so far undercover that you topple the government from the inside out. They make movies about that. David Scott, salute. Yeah. You know why? Because if this African country or this whatever country, wherever it is, if it gets it together, it has a potential to stop what we're doing over here. So we can't have that.
Without plundering any country in the world.
Look at that.
Without subjugating any people in the world.
Look at that.
This is a country that is developing with maximum respect for others, for their history, for their cultures, and recognizes the diversity that is there in civilization.
Did y'all know that there's Chinese women in Africa getting married? Did y'all know about that? I said, did y'all know that there are Chinese women in Africa getting married to African men? Did y'all know that? I bet you didn't know that. See, it's deeper. Y'all know what happened in South Africa when the Africans told the white Dutch, the white South Africans, look, I know y'all here and y'all inherited this land down there, but guess what? Y'all got to get the fuck out. But, this came from my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Yeah, we know where it came from. But your great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers or mothers, y'all were slave owners. And we just let y'all make camp here. But you know what? We want our shit back. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to give us our shit back, or we're going to
take that.
And they said we ain't leaving. And guess what they did?
Take that.
Do y'all know about that? Do y'all know about any of that? All of this has been happening. Did y'all know about that? How they took their land back? See, I ain't know about the Chinese women coming down from China and marrying these black. Y'all know about that, right? But y'all start seeing light-skinned, Asian-looking. It's like, all right, she got black features. And she got like fair hair, but she speaks English, Ghanaian, and Mandarin? What the hell? And what are we doing over here? Arguing over whether the earth is flat and who's a natural woman. Let's play this.
We were only taught one form of civilization, one form of modernization. That was the Western way. Westernness was a measure of how civilized, how modern you are. We reject that. We reject it because it's not.
Yeah, that too, Philip D. They don't want to talk about that, though. They want to talk about that. That's happening. The African women are running up under these Chinese men, and they just blasting. Yep. They want to talk about that. That's going to be, when that's happening in abundance, that's going to be another topic. Give it about another 2 more years. But listen to what this man says.
Correct. We reject it because it's undemocratic. We reject it because it's uncivilized. To to think of the world and of other people in that way. Today, they cannot accept the fact that China has caught up with them.
Wow.
China is about to surpass them.
Yep.
In many areas of human endeavor. The imperialist arrogance is inhibiting them from accepting that reality.
The imperialist arrogance. Listen to what they're saying about America. This is gold.
The racist arrogance is inhibiting them from accepting that reality. But the world is changing. The changes we are witnessing today, as President Xi said in Moscow recently, or the other day, they have never been seen in 100 years. They have shaped a world that they themselves today are scared of. And they have shaped a world that is not sustainable.
Yep.
Democracy, human development is not sustainable on the basis of plunder, on the basis of enslavement.
You can't maintain a democracy off of plunder. You hear what he said? Y'all do know there can never be true justice on a stolen land. Y'all understand that, right? The history of this country is so fucked up. It's just that we've been hearing it since we was kids, that it's normalized. There's that word, normalized. But really think about the history of the country. Some motherfuckers come up here on a boat, and this is red ground. That's why I have the lights red tonight. And they taught those Europeans how to not die. We have 4 seasons over here. You kill the buffalo. You take the meat, you take the skin, you take the fur, you take the bones and make tools, you eat the meat, you make a coat, you use the whole animal. You take these seeds, you plant it, and in about a couple of years, you start growing stuff. And once they got everything good, they said, hey, we know how to do this now. This is great. What are those other boats coming? Oh, those are friends. You see this? This is called a musket. Fuck that bow and arrow shit. This right here, let me show you what it does. Bang! And then they take Pocahontas, who was really like 13 years old. Did y'all know that? They say, by the way, we like it here. We're not leaving. You can stay, but you see that little land over there? You're going to stay over there. And don't move. I just gave you the short version of the history of this country. Big C, what up? Democracy? This is our history. Democracy, though? Oh, yeah, Drew, but that's how we started, but that's not who we are. Are you sure? Listen to what this brother's saying.
On the basis of humiliating other people every day. That is a system we are seeing today, a system that will not survive if plunder is eliminated, if subjugation of other peoples, other nations is eliminated, if inequality in the world is eliminated. That system will disappear.
See that?
The only system that you can survive and can endure for long is a system that is based on mutual benefit, win-win relationships, mutual respect for others.
Win-win relationships, mutual benefits, mutual respect for one another. That's what China and Russia is doing in Africa. All that stuff he named, America did that to them, and they did it to other countries. China didn't do that shit. So who would you work with? And then here come Kamala Harris with $60 million, which is peanuts, about 5 years too late. telling you if you don't let the LGBT in here, it's gonna affect your tourists, and the tourism hit you in the pockets. We all right. Get on Air Force 2, because Biden didn't let you fly down there Air Force 1. Get on Air Force 2 and head back to DC.
Accommodation and tolerance of others, and fraternal love for all humanity. This is what we find in China today. This is what China's example is showing us. Indeed, all paths are different. There's no path that is the same, even if they are leading to the same destination. Each path has got its own characteristics. We are seeing that, we are learning that, we are experiencing that today with China. There are many things that need to be done to get the world that we want. A more just, a more fair, a more peaceful world is possible, but it won't drop from the skies. We have to struggle for it. And as Fidel said, if we struggle, we'll win.
There's nothing to add on that speech. I think he captured it really.
Fair use. Salute to that sister. But the link is in the chat. And salute to Philip D. 16 things Gaddafi did for Libyans and never done anywhere in the world. If this is called a dictatorship, I wonder what type of leadership Democrats have. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. There was no electricity bill in Libya. Electricity. You know what? I'm going to cover this some other time. But thank you for that, Philip D. He just sent me down the email. I appreciate you, good brother. But damn. Now listen to me. That first brother, Joshua, you heard his stance. And you heard this brother, the Zambia leader, Hakande, he just broke it down. Did he lie? Would you work with someone that legitimately has a history? Would you work with a family that had a history of beating your family's ass? There was another interview where they were talking about, listen, they over here talking about democracy. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing. They can't even keep black folks from getting their ass whooped. Matter of fact, let me find that. Let me find that real quick. Because this other brother went in. History. This other brother went all the way in. He was pissed off, man. Where's that? Oh, no. It's not this one. It's this. Oh, man, he got pissed, too. 17-14. All right. Y'all. Wait till you hear this. He went crazy. This is fair use, y'all. Fair use. Fair use. Now, y'all need to listen to this.
They have no rights to talk about human rights because they're the biggest abusers of human rights. Child rights are equally human rights. And yesterday, 2 hours after that press conference with the president, a 28-year-old gun woman walked into an American school.
His name is Sam George. Now listen to what he's talking about here.
Killed 3 American children and killed 3 American teachers. It's the rights, one of the fundamental basic rights of any human being is the right to life. The American government, in which Kamala Harris is vice president, is failing to take decisive action on gun control. And so people who should not have access to weapons are having access to assault rifles and killing innocent children and teachers in America. And the vice president of that country wants to come and teach us human rights. I mean, the irony of it. She's a person of color. But for being vice president, what happened to George Floyd could easily have happened to her.
Oh!
Whoa! What
What? The irony.
Any of the several people who have been killed in America by errant white policemen, which has led to the Black Lives Matter issue. If people have to demonstrate to let the American government know that Black Lives Matter, they need help from us. I've stated on record that myself and my colleagues are very willing to engage the American government and the U.S. Congress to help them shape laws that will clamp down on gun violence because they really have need for it. But it's the hypocrisy of the US where they call homosexuality a human rights issue in Africa. But yet they are doing business with countries where homosexuality is frowned upon. Over $1 billion of military hardware is sold to Qatar almost on a yearly basis. In Qatar, homosexuality is punished by death.
Did you hear that? They're doing business with the country. With arms. But homosexuality is punishable in that country by death. So you want to go to Africa with $60 million saying let the gays in here? You want them to change, but the other place that you're dealing with arms, homosexuality is condemned and punishable by death. You think MSNBC or Fox or CNN or C-SPAN is going to talk about this? Uh-oh.
Not imprisonment. Why are they not threatening Qatar? One of the biggest trading partners of the United States government is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, it's punished by death. Why?
Wow. Wow.
They're not threatening them. Why are they not threatening Russia? Then they come to Ghana and Africa and they want to come and threaten us with LGBTQ. The American government is a bunch of hypocrites. If they really want to flex their muscle, they should go and flex their muscle on Russia, India, China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, the places where they are selling weapons to.
Awesome, George.
Wow. Fair use, y'all. Wow. Ancestral race, salute. You ain't going to China with that crap. Russia, India. You want to try and flex your muscles on the various countries in Africa. You know why in Africa? On that continent, there's so many countries, but divide and conquer. They've been doing it for years. Busting them up from the inside out. They've been doing that shit for years. Let's flex some muscle. Hey, we did it. We did it before. You know, we had a few boats. We went over there. Those little villages, we fucked them up. But when we got to those big villages, they had us outnumbered. So we had to negotiate. That is it. That guy owes you money. He's working off some debt. How about this? Give him to us. And we'll show you how a gun works. We'll give you some gunpowder and some this and some that. Don't worry about those rats coming off the boats. Don't worry about those animals. They're just going to go into the jungle and die somewhere. Don't worry about that. Give them to us. And they had no idea what they were giving those slaves away to. They had no idea the conditions. They had no idea. None. So as you can see, what I'm happy to see is that the Africans aren't as inept as they were portraying them online. I saw this video on Instagram. It's a Chinese man. He had like a plank of wood, and there was some black workers around, and he took the wood and he hit the worker. The worker was like, "What are you doing?" He hit him again. Then he grabbed the plank and he started flinging around the Asian guy, and he hit him with the wood. And everyone had on construction hats. It was like a construction site. China man goes back there and tries to give him a running kick, and the black dude start kicking his ass. And I'm reading the comments. I didn't know what was going on. I'm reading the comments. They were talking about, oh, you know, the Chinese are coming in there, and it's bad enough they're stealing everything out the ground, but now they think that they could kick someone's ass out there. Look, I don't know what was going on. What I do know is China man got his ass kicked by that one worker, and everybody else was standing around just looking like, I don't know what he thought he was going to do. They didn't have to jump him. But you let them tell it online. They think that China came over in big old aircrafts and said, yo, look, we're taking this and that, and y'all ain't doing nothing about it. Listen, man, we are not our ancestors. We will fight you and fuck you up. Okay? We're not our ancestors. It's not like that no more. We know what's going on. It's not in our nature. When Africans saw these European boats or these Spanish boats coming in, and who are you? I've never seen a pale face before. Well, let me show you. These are some unique clothes. Let me show you how we live. And they're making friends. Meanwhile, they're setting us up the whole time. Exactly, Queen. What is America going to do to go to Saudi and say, hey, man, let LGBTQ in here? How about this? Make an about face, a 180-degree turn, get back on your plane and get out. And I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. What are you going to do? Offer us money? You can't afford us. What we say goes over here, and we don't get down like that. Yeah, we get your IG models over here to eat a plate of camel poo, but they can't come down here and eat no box. We don't get down like that. Whether it's a contradiction or whatever they got going on down there, fine. But what I'm saying is America ain't got that strong arm like they said they had. Like they thought they had. Now, do I know exactly what's going on with Zambia? I don't. Do I know whether they, it's corruption and a few people took an uncanny amount of money to sell out their country? I don't know. But I'm telling you, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like this brother is not having it. Because where did he lie? Joker, what up? Where did he lie? Did he lie about what's going on? One of the things that I was going to talk about was Rodney Reed, who's on death row. And this is all relevant to what the Zambia leader was talking about. Rodney Reed has been sitting on death row in Texas' infamous Pulaski unit for more than 2 decades, convicted of abducting, raping, and murdering of a 19-year-old Stacy Stites as she drove her early morning shift at HEB. Reed has maintained his innocence all that time, and his lawyers have argued repeatedly that there might be a way to prove it, testing crime scene evidence that was never checked for DNA, including the murder weapon itself, a woven leather belt used to strangle Stites. Reed's best chance at getting that evidence tested now rests with the U.S. Supreme Court, which on Tuesday, this is an article from last year, which on Tuesday heard oral arguments centering on one procedural question: did Reed wait too long to ask federal court to order tests? Now I'm gonna stop right there. It don't matter. The Central Park 5, all of those brothers was innocent. They didn't do it. Now, there was no DNA when they got locked up. But DNA technology came, I forget which year, but it came later. And they caught some dude who admitted to it like 2 decades later. And then they did the DNA. They said, yo, these kids was nowhere near that woman. It was all that dude that they nabbed doing something else, and he admitted it. When all they had to do was DNA them, that was a big case in New York, y'all. That's part of the reason why I can't stand Donald Trump, because of that shit. He called for the death penalty for them. The front page, and I think like 3 pages in the New York Post, calling for their deaths. So now we have a situation right here. Rodney Reed. Do a DNA test. Either his DNA is there or it's not. What do you mean you waited too late? What, do you want to kill him? Watch this. The real murderer, if he's not dead already, is still out there. Village Brother says, I'm Nigeria. There was a Chinese business that denied service to black customers. They were immediately kicked out of the country. We don't play. I heard about that. You see, I told y'all the story about the Korean store around my way. And that old little Korean lady was following me and my boys all around the store. And who was stealing? My white friends. The last thing I ever wanted was to get caught stealing anything. And then what they used to do is they would hold you and say, "You'll call your mother or call your father." And what I didn't want is my parents to come in and saying, "Boy, you know better than that." That was the fear. And then I told y'all later, now I'm in there with my child. And now the little Korean lady, no doubt, Stormy, much love and appreciation. Now that lady who used to be taller than me, now she's like 4'11". And I'm in there just not thinking. I look up in the mirror, I said, this bitch following me? I'm in my 40s now. This bitch is still following me around the fucking store? The little dude that he didn't go to school with us, but now he used to be doing his homework behind the counter. Now he's all grown up. We the same age and he's just there. I'm like, yo, what up, man? I said, yo, your auntie need to fucking chill. What the fuck? I said, you know what? And then I said, why am I here? I put the shit down and he understood. He was like, hey, man. I said, you know, she's bugging the fuck out. And I said it on the way. I said, you know, all those years when y'all had Tropicana orange juice missing and big bags of chips, you know it wasn't us, right? It was the people here. Some of these niggas are doctors now. They don't even live in the state anymore. Robbing you blind every morning. And we trying to buy now and laters and Jolly Ranchers and shit. We paid for everything. But our white friends, right out the front door, y'all ain't find it strange? They always came in, never bought anything. But you're like, yo, how we down 8 crates of Tropicana every month? These niggas ain't taking it. It wasn't the niggas. Yeah, Night Train, hurry up and buy. Fuck you. I left that shit right there. I said, how about this? I said, man. He said, hey. He knew what time it was. We all old men now. We grown men. He got gray streaks in his hair now. He was just there hanging out. Little bitch, now she got a hunchback. She's still following fucking kids around the store. Are you kidding me? So now you got America, who been effing the world off. America has like the worst reputation. Military coups. Did you hear what the brother said? Military coups. He dropped names and he killed Muammar Gaddafi. They killed, man. I remember that. I said, man, they finally killed Muammar Gaddafi. Growing up, when he hit when he was in the news, he was the biggest terrorist in the world, and blah 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 blah. That man was just about to start a new currency. Look up how he died, how he was murdered. They dragged that body in the street. They said America did that. So I'm asking you, who would you work with? Because you know what? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Y'all know I got to park here for a second. When a troll finds another troll that doesn't like one person, they get together. But you know what always happens? Those trolls down the line, they always fall out with each other. It's like in the comic books. We all know the Justice League and the Legion of Doom, right? What do you know about the Legion of Doom? You could trust Lex Luthor to use his brain to put some shit together so you can probably get Batman or get the Flash because he's super smart. But let's say you get Batman or get the Flash and somehow you get Superman. Now you got to worry about Lex Luthor because that's who he is. DP Rocker, salute. That's who he is. If they ever toppled all the heroes, now they got to watch each other. They don't trust each other. But is China the villain? Is Africa the villain? Is Russia the villain? Now, we saw a lot of selective stuff. We see the Klitschko's. You know, fucking Usyk was over there. Lomachenko was over there. I saw a video of a jet fighter fly through through a neighborhood and dropped a bomb next to this poor kid's house. His child screaming. Made you feel for them. Had these dumb niggas over. You saw that nigga that made the news? Oh, they can't do that to these people. I'm ready to arm up and go over there. I'm going to go enlist. I'm like, oh. And Putin said, y'all know how many Nazis are over there? And I said, what's he talking about? And then these videos start popping up. I said, yo. I saw a mall with an escalator, the Nazi symbol in lights. I was like, wait a minute. That's the Ukraine? Yeah, Shauna. A lot of people don't know where we live. There used to be a high Jewish population over here. There was no trouble over here. Sweetest people. But like I said, my white friends were robbing them blind. It wasn't the blacks or the Spanish. It wasn't us. I'm just telling you. We coming out with quarter waters, Chico sticks, now and laters, lemon heads, Charlie Chance. And we get to the playground. I almost said his name. I mean, because he's my brother for life. He passed away a few years ago. He opened his coat. He had a big old thing of Tropicana, a pack of bologna. I'm like, what the? She wasn't following him. She's following us. Went straight to the back, got the quarter water, go to the counter. Let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get it. She's standing there looking at us. Meanwhile, my white friends, there was 2 boys and 1 girl walking right out the store. She didn't even give them she even bat an eye. We got that. Yo, my boy stole a whole loaf of Wonder Bread, cheese, and bologna on more than 1 occasions. And we be in the playground making sandwiches. Real spill. Hold on. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, is the world the bad guys? Can I ask y'all a question? Can everybody be wrong but us? That's real. I'm asking. Something ain't right, right? Better start learning Mandarin and take your pension and find out what's life like on the continent of Africa. Uganda, Nigeria. There's beautiful cities over there. You might want to consider relocating. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know anything. I'm just saying. This is just things on my line. I'm just thinking out loud right now. I can't deny, confirm, but I'm saying, look at the direction. $60 million. Now, really think listen, don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I will tell you what they are. $60 million or $100 million, whoever said what. Kamala Harris went over there with millions of dollars. But Flint, Michigan's water's still messed up. They're going over there for democracy. But every other month there's a school shooting. They're telling them, yo, look, if you don't allow the LGBT in there, you're going to lose money for tourism, as if all the tourists are gay. We're going to show you democracy. Simon Bridgman, salute. We're going to show you democracy. We're going to teach you democracy. But over here, we're arguing over what's a biological woman and whether the earth is round or flat. Are you serious? I just saw a little clip about a dude that got hired for a job and he told someone, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, and they terminated him. He said, what the hell? Because somebody got offended because he said yes, ma'am to them. He said, well, I grew up saying yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, or what the hell? You can't say that anymore. This is the shit we're dealing with here. And they want to bring that to other countries. But check it out. They're trying to bring it to Zambia. He just said, try that shit in Saudi. You can't do that. But they're dealing in arms with other countries where homosexuality is punishable by death. So what do you have up your sleeve? Either you're against it or you're not. You shouldn't be doing business with those people if they're killing people who say they're homosexual or lesbians, right? But you're doing business with them. So your intentions are not pure at all. You're full of shit. But go to Zambia and push that shit off. Why it's always Africa? Why it's always black people? And what they said is, we reminding you of who they are. Thanks, but no thanks, Kamala. Take your red bone pretty ass back to DC, and we're good over here. We're working with India, Russia, and China, and we're going to create a new currency. And don't worry about it. Y'all be out the White House by the time we get this on and popping. It's going to take about 30 to 50 years for it to get going. But the American dollar, and didn't I ask y'all earlier in the week, what do Black Americans care? And what do we think of? We think about this brother here, Rodney Reed, George Floyd, Emmett Till. Do we need to go on? How many black people got shot and killed? Keys, candy bars. George Zimmerman still walking around like nothing happened. And we're supposed to be like, oh no, China. Ciao, Sao how. That's how are you? I think my boy Ren taught me that. I don't know if that's Mandarin or Canton. I don't know. Really? We're supposed to feel sorry about what's going on here? He just said, we're oppressed. We're still oppressed. We still got sundown towns over here. There ain't no sundown towns in Africa, man. What is when you get shot because you're black by a police officer in Africa, and not so quiet is kept, there's black people already relocating to Africa. Did the Democrats do right by the black community? And I'll leave it there. Yo, listen, man. I get up early. My schedule's gonna be changing for a little while. I might have to skip Mondays and I might start doing this show Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday. I might. I'm not sure. I'm gonna give y'all at least 3 days of this. But I might have to sit out Mondays. I'm not sure. Just for a little while. But maybe my morning boxing show, I might have to sit that out for a while. But me and Stormy will be on in the evening. That's a guarantee. And I might still be able to do this on Monday nights though. But my boxing show on Mondays in the morning, I might have to take a step back from that for a little bit due to work schedule changes. But you know, it's for the better. It's all good. Oh, I saw that, Stormy, too, for real. But I'd like to thank y'all, man. We made it, man. 174 new subs in the last 28 days. I could not have done any of this without your support, without the support of that dude named Dave, without the support of Theo Coop, and all of you, man. All of you, man. Y'all showed up. Y'all showed out. There's 44 people in here watching right now. Please smash the like button. And we just growing, man. We just growing. And once I just get this squared away, I'm gonna start uploading shorts on this channel. A lot of shorts. And then we're gonna have fun on Bear Cave. The first live I do is gonna be me and Stormy. And we just gonna wild out on that, man. It's gonna be a free for all. It's gonna be funny. But that's the nerd channel. I'll be playing video games on that. I don't know how to do it yet. I gotta call my brother Trill Will. But yeah, that's the nerd channel over there, man. Team Peterson, I appreciate y'all, man. This is all I want to do. I want to help people grow. Thank you for helping me grow. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that this would be fun, especially, you know, with YouTube on some nonsense, and I ain't gonna get into that. But you know, it's amazing what you can do with some unity, right? It's amazing what you can do. You know, it's like, why? I'm a work in progress, and the little bit of negative I get is overshadowed by the abundance of positive that I get. I do it for the positive. The positive overshadows the negative. Actually, it makes the negative quite comical. You know what I mean? But more on that when it's dealt with. You know. But salute to y'all, man. YouTube hit me up and asked me to be a member of the AdSense with this channel, and of course I said yes. So, you know, y'all see that, y'all will see that $ symbol on the lower right-hand side soon, I guess. They said it takes about a month, but it's never really that. It's probably about 2 weeks or so. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Derek, man. Salute to y'all, man. For real, man. So I'm just going to keep doing content, man. And this is growing, man. You know, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Mona D. I want to help that sister grow. You know what I'm saying? She has great content. You know what I'm saying? Smoke and Talk, man. Everybody that does content, man, for real. Our sister Tay Tay, she in the chat. She's the queen of MMA. Y'all make sure I go subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting some stuff together for her. You know what I mean? I said, check my phone. Oh, bro, salute to my brother Derek Gaines and that Cash App. He said, for my brother, keep up the good work, man. Salute to you, good brother. Thank you so much. I gotta get better at checking, and I haven't checked my Venmo Zelle in a minute. God damn, I'm sorry. If y'all donating there, I'm so sorry, man. I gotta get better at this. I'm sorry. Smoke Talk, for real, man. Salute, man. I want to get y'all all on here, man. I want to get, at some point, I want all the family up in here, man. Whatever we talking about, man. Because there's strength in numbers, and like what I just spoke about tonight. Salute to my brother Stormy. He sent this to me early. I was just gonna talk about Rodney Reed tonight, but what's happening with Rodney Reed is symbolic to what's happening to us in our country that we helped build. So is China really the villains? And now they trying to make us look at Africa strange. I'll have none of it, man. I'll have none of it. I know what kind of time. I don't know what type of time they on, man. Y'all not gonna no. Negative. Calvin, what up, man? No doubt, brother. Y'all not gonna get us, man. America got some explaining to do. After what I just played here, I just dropped. Let me put that link in the chat again. Y'all can go listen to this. Both. This is where I got it from. This is the sister's channel, but both of the lectures are on there. And it's pure truth. Y'all can go to her channel. Y'all can subscribe. I don't know the sister. And salute to Stormy. He sent this to me. I said, man, you know what? I got to cook on this, man, because this is all relevant to what I was going to talk about anyway. But now it's on a grander scale. Never feel guilty of standing up for what's right. And when they get us to look down on whatever Africa's doing, think about how we're treated here. That George Floyd, think about the Philando Castile murder. They shot that man in front of his girlfriend and the baby. And then threw the girlfriend and the baby in the backseat of the sector car. Dude had a legal carry, no criminal record, told the officer, yo, I have a legal carry on. And then he got blasted. Think about George Floyd. Think about the brother that tried to run away from the cop, and the cop blasted him while he was running away, and then put his taser next to the body, and then lied on his report and said, yo, he got my taser. My life was in danger. Wait a minute. So then if your life was in danger, why was the bullets in his back? He'd have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that Spanish kid who recorded the whole thing. Nothing of the sort happened. He stopped them. They were talking, and he ran because he said I think he had a warrant for child support. He tried to dip from the cop, and the cop pulled out and blasted him. If it wasn't on video, y'all know what would have happened. George Zimmerman's still alive. All these niggas, oh, I'm gonna kill you, Drew. I'm gonna kill you, LDBC. I'm gonna kill you. And I see, don't come to Vegas. And George Zimmerman's still alive. George Zimmerman is still alive. And I'm not saying to go do something to him, but I just found it funny how you monkeys are so quick to jump on a nigga, but a guy like George Zimmerman is not only alive, but he's walking around Florida, and that's a pickup line when he meets a chick. And by the way, after the murder, he's been arrested several times after that. But I'm supposed to worry about what the fuck Africa's doing? How about this? I want to know what the real estate is looking like over there. I'm retiring soon. And I don't feel safe here. with these rabbit ass niggas, which is sundown towns. Sundown towns in 2023. West Virginia. Don't ever drive through West Virginia if you're black or brown. Don't do it. Woke, what up? Do y'all understand what my show is about now? When I say, yo, sisters, we got to get it together. When I tell the sisters, ignore that 10% of niggas that ain't shit, there's no hope for them. Please leave them alone. Y'all remember when I say, yo, look, brothers and sisters, we got to make a deal. We got to get it together because we can't do it by ourselves. Remember when I made that show? Remember when I said that? Yo, look, let's make a deal. There's a reason why. Is it easier for a single woman to move to Africa and she's middle class? Or is it easier for her with her middle class money and a man with his middle class money, they can move to Africa as a couple? Or just move out the country. Go somewhere else with your pension and stretch your dollar where you ain't got to shovel no fucking snow. Or you can stay here. And still get disrespected by police, and I ain't gonna lecture y'all. Y'all already know what kind of, y'all already know what type of time I'm on, man. We have options, y'all. Joe Biden said you gotta vote for me if you're black. Well, he's in there. What's he done for you? If he's done right by you, let me know. Am I a Republican? No. Am I a Democrat? No. I'm an independent. No, I'm sorry. Let me stop. I'm registered as a Democrat. But y'all hear me talking, right? Y'all hear me talking, right? Okay. Okay. We got to vote for our best interests. And right now, I got to tell you, what's going on in this country that's within our best interests. You see something. How much do you think a brownstone costs in Philadelphia? How much do you think a brownstone costs in Philadelphia? Just give me a number. Just give me a number. A brownstone in Philadelphia. $1 million? Let's do that. $1 million. Divide $1 million by, let's say, 100 people. That's $10,000 a person. So let's say 100 people took $10,000 and bought one brownstone. Just one. And furnished it and did all the electrical work. And just a family moved in it. And they collected the mortgage and everything else. And through time, that same 100 people buys another brownstone and another and another and another and another. And then you turn around and over about maybe a decade, they own like 15 brownstones. Do they not own the neighborhood? And it goes from 1 block to 2 blocks to 3 blocks to 4 blocks. And in 10 years, you own about, you could probably own 10 blocks. And all of you are recycling money. Not only you own brownstones, now somewhere you accumulated enough money where you can you can own investment properties. You own the stores, the corner stores. You own lots. You bought the land, and now I don't know, a franchise says, hey, look, man, can I build my franchise on your land? I want to open up like I want to build a building here. Yeah, all right, what you gonna pay us? Thank you. An investment group, Derek. See, but this is long-term thinking. I see you, Shawa. Yeah, man. We can stop gentrification in our neighborhoods. What I just said to you, I've had, bro, that's a whole nother show, man. We could have took this country back ourselves, man. And we could have did that on the quiet. Did y'all know the brownstones in Harlem were being sold for like $1 when half the fucker was burnt out? Did y'all know that? There was, it wasn't really $1, but it was like pennies on $1. My pops used to tell me, he says, yo, I used to see the Jewish people with the hats on come up in Harlem and just be looking around in the late 80s, just looking around. Whole time, those old crack houses, they were buying the brownstones out. And when it was time to make a move, they went in there, they cleaned them out, boarded it up, refurnished it, and that's why you can't recognize it. If the last time you've been to Harlem was 1990, you will not recognize it now. They bought those brownstones for dirt cheap, and now they own them outright. And black people walking around, hey man, why are these white people here? Dummy. Because guess what? They were auctioning off a lot of those brownstones, and the information was available, but niggas didn't investigate it. So someone in the projects could have actually bought a brownstone for dirt cheap and just sat on it. And when the neighborhood flipped, somebody would have to come to you, yo, how much you want for that brownstone? You said, you could have said, if you were smart, give me 500,000. Because the neighborhood changed it. Man, I'm talking too much, man. I'm talking too much. But we don't, man, bro. Harlem started changing like around 96. I'll never forget, I was detoured off the West Side Highway. I drove up 125 past the Apollo. I'm on Lenox. I'm at the light. And I saw this white kid, summertime, with his laptop out. I said, what the fuck is going on here? Niggas out here and their ribs is touching. What the hell? Oh. I see. Now you see white people jogging a little farther uptown. 96th Street uptown. 96th Street in uptown is basically Harlem. Spanish Harlem, Amsterdam Avenue. Dominican Republic land. James Doon, salute. 96th Street in downtown, the buildings get bigger. It's a little safer. But we don't think like that. We don't think like that. But salute to y'all. Maybe I'll talk about gentrification on my next show. But we did it, man. I love and appreciate y'all, man. Salute to y'all and the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, Super Chat coming soon, man. I'm so like happy, man. And thank you guys so much, man. I'm gonna put out so much more content on here, man. I'm gonna do a lot of short videos, man. We're gonna have some fun, man. Salute to y'all. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you. And let's rock. And don't forget to subscribe to Bear Cave. Let me put that link in the chat. You growing there too. We at 221 over there. Y'all like to get y'all nerd on? Get your nerd on. That's where I'm gonna put a lot of my exercise videos also. For real, man. Squeaky Kid, what's that? Squeaky Kid? Man, salute to you, man. Welcome. DS, salute, man. For real, y'all. Enjoy the fights tomorrow. We got Joe Joyce versus Big Zhang. It might be a sleeper, but somebody ain't gonna make it. Somebody ain't gonna make it. Man, salute to y'all, man. And I will see y'all Monday, but I'll do a post-fight tomorrow after the fight, though. And I'll catch y'all on the rebound, man. Peace, man. Love y'all.